Hi everyone, here are your Algebra 2B questions on lesson 95B. We have only 4 questions that we're going to be going through, so we're going to start on number 18. The first thing that you want to do for number 18 is to move this x to the other side and leave the square root on the left-hand side. That would make the x positive. So you would have your square root x squared plus 2x plus 34 on the left-hand side, and on the right-hand side you would have x plus 4. Then to get rid of the square root, you're going to square both sides, which means that you would multiply x plus 4 times x plus 4. On the left-hand side, that just means getting rid of your square root, so that becomes x squared plus 2x plus 34. Equals, and you need to multiply this out, so this would be x times x, which would be x squared. Then we have x times 4, which is 4x, and 4 times x, which would together become 8x. And then 4 times 4, which is 16. Now we're solving for x, and the x squareds on both sides are going to cancel. I'm going to move this 8x to the left-hand side by subtracting it, and move the 34 to the right-hand side by subtracting it. That means on the left-hand side, you're going to end up with negative 6x is equal to 16 minus 34, which would give us negative 18. And when you divide both sides by negative 6, you get that x is equal to 3. But don't just circle your answer there, because now you have to go through and check your answer by plugging it back in at the beginning to make sure that this works. So this would be the square root of 3 squared plus 2 times 3 plus 34 minus 3 equals 4. So in that square root, you're going to have 3 times 3, which is 9, plus 6, because 2 times 3 plus 34, and that would give you the square root of 49. Minus 3 equals 4. Square root of 49 is 7, so 7 minus 3 does equal 4. So therefore your answer is going to be that x is equal to 3. Moving on, we're going to look at number 19. So for number 19, what you're trying to see is how many spaces is this line going to be away from the origin. Notice that it's going to the right of the origin. It's not going up or down, which means that it's going positive 14.00 r and not going up or down, so it'd be plus 0.00 u. But now we need to decide what this is going to be, and I'm going to do that by creating a right triangle here. In quadrant 4, it's going to the right, and then it's going down, so that means my r is going to be positive, my u is going to be negative. To solve for r and u, we're going to use cosine for r, so 12 cosine 35, and then for u, you're going to use sine, so 12 times sine 35. You're going to use your calculator, so 12 times 35 cosine equals, and that would be 9.83. And then you're going to do 12 times 35 sine equals, and that would be 6.88. Now again, we said that our r is going to be positive and our u is going to be negative, which means that 9.83 will be positive r, and then my 6.88 will be negative. So now what you want to do is you're going to add the 9.83 plus 14, and you get 23.83 r, and then minus 6.88 u. And that is your result. Moving on, we're going to do number 27, which is a word problem that they've thrown in at the end of the lesson. It says, use the formula PV equals nRT to find the volume of 1.32 moles of gas in a pressure of 5 atmospheres at a temperature of 600 kelvins, R is equal to 0.0821. So we're trying to solve for volume. So if I'm trying to get the V by itself, I would divide both sides by P. Now, if you can recall, the N is going to be the number of moles. So it says 1.32 is the number of moles. And then R is just standard, so that would be 0.0821. And then our temperature, they give us a 600. And that's all going to be over the pressure that they give us, which is 5. So now all you need to do is multiply that through on your calculator. So you have 1.32 times 0.0821 times 600. Then we're going to divide that all by 5. And you should get 13.00. So that means their volume is going to be equal to 13.00. And that would be your result for number 27. And then moving on to number 29. So what 29 is going to be two lines that are intersecting on the outside of the circle. And for this one, what you're going to be doing is you take one line. So let's look at their top line. And it's going to be the outside multiplied by the length of the entire line. So this would be 4 times 4 plus x equals, and for the second line, it would be outside, which is 5, times the length of the entire line, which would be 5 plus 7, and that would be 12. So now distributing your 4 would give you 16 plus 4x equals 60. Move the 16 to the other side. We give you 4x is equal to 44. So therefore, x is going to be equal to 11. And then you're done. So part B is exactly the same, but on this one, if you look at this line right here, the exterior is 6, but the length of the entire line is also 6. So what would be the second line? What would be the exterior multiplied by the length of the entire line? Well, the exterior is going to be 4, and the length of the entire line is going to be 4 plus y. Do the same thing, distributing your 4. The left side is going to be 36. The right side would become 16 plus 4y. You're going to subtract 16. So then you end up with 20 is equal to 4y. Divide that by 4. And y is equal to 5. And that would be your result for number 29. Okay, so this concludes your questions on lesson 95B. Make sure that you watch the new lesson on lesson 96, and under that video is where you're going to post your questions for lesson 96A. I hope you guys all have a great day. Bye.